We're back at Grizzly Gables and we are on the final stretch. The current big project right now is getting the handrail up on the stairway and the loft landing.
Last week I fabbed up all the posts, and this week we're going to install them and run the cable. Got a lot of railing to put on, and it'd be nice to get this all done this week. So installing the handrail, first thing we had to do was get posts mounted on the stair stringers and then also up on the stair deck. We attached them using lag bolts. I think they were like 5-inch lag bolts, so we actually get into a little bit of the logs and timbers. Once those were set, we set them all plumb and level, and then from there it was basically we had to attach the handrail up on top. So we went and got some 2x material, some nicer stuff, and fabbed them all in place, and then basically took them off. We routed all the edges so they're nice and smooth, then we sanded them, polyed them up, reattached them. Once we got the cap on the handrail itself on the top, that tied the whole handrail in. Now it's time to run the cables. And today, look at this, it's Tuesday morning, and what came in a box of cable. So now we can go ahead and string the cable into the railing. So I ordered this from a small mom and pop shop out of Washington State. It's called Coastal Cable, and they're very reasonable and super fast delivery on this cable railing. So excited to see what's in this box. That's the tool, the swage tool, right here. 250 feet of cable.
So wait a second, are we doing our own fittings?
Yep.
Oh. I thought we were going to order links.
Why? Are we kind of DIY people?
I don't know. Just that's what we talked about.
Look at that. All the hardware.
Always a do-it-yourselfer. So there's all the hardware. So we're going to make up our own runs.
Yeah.
Cool. I can't wait to learn how to do that.
Yep. Look at that. It'll look really good. They have these fastening ends, so you have your cable which goes in this hole, and then you have to crimp the cable on with a set of crimpers. And then that's what we did up there at our start point. This is our end point. Obviously I don't do this every day, but trying to figure out where to cut the cable so that you have enough adjustment in the threaded rod, so when you want to tighten the cable at the end. So I go ahead and line it up right there. And I've kind of got a pattern figured out, but you see where the cable goes to, stops right there where it gets crimped. So I go about here and I just grab a little bit more, and then I cut it at that point. And then once I cut it at that point, we're going to go ahead and slide it all the way in, and then we'll put 2 crimps on it. One. Oh no. And I did it. See, right when the camera's rolling, you see this?
First one you messed up.
First one I messed up, yep. Things have been rolling good. Okay, so let's try this again. There's enough left here to go ahead and crimp it. So we'll get it in there. Right on the end. And I'll make sure it's stuffed in there. Okay, 1. 2, and we should be good. So thank goodness I didn't crimp it on the end and screw it up. But now we have this. Take these pieces off your beveled washer, and we're going to run it through. And we have just enough right there. And then that threaded rod that's in here is about this far in here. And so when we get all done, everything's done, then we can go ahead and tighten them all up.
so good at this you can eat while you're doing it.
Up on top of the rail, there's a start point and an end point, and these are the same connectors that are down below. They just are minus a beveled washer. But as you can see, we're just going to put them in, crimp them. And that's done. And then we got kind of where this post is, it's kind of awkward up here, but there we go. And then all we need to do is put a washer and a nut here. And I leave enough room to where we can adjust the majority on this side. So then I'll pull the rest of the cable this way, and then I'll go ahead and finish down there.
I got one more cabinet I want to add in this kitchen. It's a pantry, and it's going to go on the wall between the door and the window. There's a little bit of space there. So I came up with this. It's kind of like a two-faced piece of furniture. And it's actually going to be a pretty simple build. We're just going to use 1x12s. I've been going back and forth between a deeper version or a narrower version, but because it's going to hold all these dishes, I don't want stuff getting lost in the back. So we're going to do 1x12s. Basically just build a gigantic bookshelf. So the height is going to match the height of the cabinet, so 90 inches tall, and the width is 6 feet. I chose the 6 feet because standard barn door hardware is 6 feet. It comes in that length. Obviously you could trim them down, but you know, if I'm building something from scratch, might as well just make it easy on myself. So 6 feet wide and almost 8 feet tall. It's going to be humongous. On the front of the shelving, we're just going to build a face frame. We'll just Craig jig it together. I'm going to use a 1x6 on the top and then wider boards everywhere else, just because it's such a big project. I want it to, you know, a little 1x2 might look a little goofy on it. So, and then we'll trim it out with a toe kick that matches the rest of the kitchen, and then a crown molding that matches the rest of the kitchen. And then the last thing is build a barn door. So I'm going to keep it really simple and install the track, and hopefully it works out good. So since Jacob's busy working on the handrail, I have Blanca and Eric tackle putting this project together in the garage.
What do you think? Just got to tighten them up, but I think it's a nice clean look on these stairs. So the last one here to do is this handrail going downstairs. So once we get those put in, handrails are done. So there's going to be a little bit different on how these cables are attached on the bottom handrail. And as you can see, this post right here is the last post we put in. But you obviously need protection here. They have babies and young kids, so you want this to be protected. So they have this connector that is right here, and it's for attaching to wood or you know, a wall. So we're going to attach it to the inside of the stair rail, and then we'll screw it on, and then it'll be, the cable will go all the way across there, so like a kid comes in there or something, they can't get in there. This is ridiculous. At least there's a ledge here.
So the pantry cabinet is done and it is humongous. We pre-built it and pre-finished it in our garage back home, and the guys are gonna bring it in here and get it in place. And then what I'm gonna do is install the barn door track before we measure for the door, so I get the door just right, and then we'll build the door, hang it all, and hopefully it all works out. That is gigantic.
I'll go back there.
The barn door hardware.
Barn door hardware.
That is actually really nice. This whole set was only 50 bucks.
Really?
Yeah, that was a good deal. So what I'm thinking, let's actually put the hardware on the cabinet, and then after it's on, we'll measure the door.
Sure.
Instead of building the door first and not knowing how much clearance the hardware needs.
We got some lag screws that are going to hold on the barn door hardware. So I'm just putting in some 1-bys in the back of this so we can have something to tie into.
Okay, so we got the rail where we want it, and then Jacob just marked all the holes right there.
Actually, Anna helped me hang this up here, but she had to go back in the camera.
Okay, now let's drill them out. Okay, so there's our barn door boards. So we got the tongue groove boards cut for the barn door. So we got the door all stapled together, and Malachi's gonna draw out the hardware. How'd our math work out?
It worked out.
Might have worked out. Oh,
I'm
that
not
is
doing
so cool. Slide's good too. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah, now we gotta put the stops on so it doesn't come off the track. So I really love how this pantry kind of ties everything together. Weirdly enough, it just made the kitchen feel so much bigger because this cabinet looks like it's part of the kitchen. So it added this whole other corner. And one of the things that really bugs me is, like, in a bad kitchen design is, like, let's say you're having a party of 20 people, and every time somebody needs to get a dish, they have to come all the way back here or over here, right? So it's really congests the kitchen, and your host can't do their job because there's people, you know, move out of the way while I get a fork out or a plate out. So what we're gonna do here is I'll put all the dishes in these shelves so they're very accessible. There's plenty of room for at least 2 people to pass each other, but it's also close to the dishwasher, so you'll be able to unload the dishwasher and load it right into the cabinet without having to walk miles around the kitchen. So just the little things that make you go from liking a house to loving a house, and you don't even know why. And then we'll hide all this kind of crap in here. You don't see it. Perfect. So this pantry cabinet is pretty much done. I just have to add the handle, but before I do that, I want to clear coat it. I was originally going to stain it, but it looks so good with the light log walls. I'm just going to keep it natural. I'm going to use Varathane Crystal Clear. So we made some big progress this week on the Grizzly Gables cabin, and it just looks a lot more appealing, it's a lot more functional, it's a lot safer. But we're really feeling the need to get things going because obviously we're going to have a baby soon. But I think we got a little bit of time because I'm always late. Both other babies were 2 weeks late, so.
Wait.
I
can't slow her down. I mean,
both
honestly,
my babies come.
You know, people have been like saying comments, my goodness, you know, like she shouldn't be, but I can't. She gets up in the morning and goes, and like even with our other last two kids, she just goes.
So it's too boring to wait for a baby. Gotta keep busy because we all know it gets a whole lot harder when you have a newborn. So I'd rather get as much done now and then be able to enjoy our newborn for a few weeks and, you know, not be as stressed. So anyway, thank you so much for watching and follow along on this remodel. Hopefully we'll be able to see you next Monday.
See ya.